Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome all of you to 359 meeting of Speakers Den Toastmasters Club. My name is Toastmaster Arun, and I'll be the sergeant at arms in today's meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want to remind everyone that this meeting will be recorded. Some part of the meeting may also be used for promotional material later. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules that we will follow during the course of this meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. If you were to move during the meeting, please turn off your camera. Third, please be mindful from addressing sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting. Support and encourage the fellow speakers by turning on your camera and warm smiles and claps. Use Zoom reaction buttons to express yourself during the meeting. As you are aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmaster has a mission. Our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment so that each member of our club can develop their leadership and communication skills, which will help to boost their self-confidence and personal growth. To take the meeting forward, I would welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Venkatesh Kumar devotes his time between studying and pursuing his diverse hobbies. An avid volleyball player, he also finds tranquility in the greenery of his sapling plantations. Balancing his time between these activities, Venkatesh is on a determined journey to crack the UPSC examination. Over to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you so much, Arun, for warm welcome. So, a very good morning to all members and lovely guests. So, today being 28th January, and it's a golden start of the day, and it is important of many reasons. As the meeting progressed, we will come to know. So, as a presiding officer, let me open meeting number 359 open, and here is my gavel. I open the meeting number 359. Please give a big round of applause. So for those speakers and guests who are coming for the first time, and I will tell you what is Toastmaster and how it functions, and why it has become so much crazy joining every Sunday between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So my first question is, who founded Toastmaster International?
Ralph C. Smedley.
Yeah, that's the right answer, Toastmaster Vishal. Give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Vishal. And next one is when it is founded, and you have to say the place also.
1924 and in California. I think it's almost 100 years going.
Yeah. Where is California? In which country?
California, USA, and it is, I think, in LA.
Thank you. Give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Aditya for such a detailed answer. So Toastmaster International is founded by Ramses Smedley, and currently it has members more than 3,56,000 and more than 16,600 members across 143 countries across the globe. Our speaker day, which is around a 12 years old club, was founded on 25th September 2012. So as we join Toastmaster International for public speaking, we get two additional benefits. First one is leadership, and the second one is networking. As you become the member of the Toastmaster International, you will give speeches and take up the roles not only within our clubs but across the globe. So I also open the meeting for guests as well. So, so for today's guest, Gavin Wells, can you introduce to the club?
Actually, my work is going on, so I'm not able to put my this camera off.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I want to improve my communication skill and leadership skill. That's what made me to come and see how is the meeting is all about. Thank you.
Thank you. Give a big round of applause to Gavin Wells. Welcome to Speaker Day. And next one is guest Sudhir. Sudhir, are you there? Next guest Nikhila.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Hello, everyone. Nikhila here. I've been joining the past couple of meetings as a guest and looking forward to this session as well. Thank you, everyone.
Give a big round of applause to our guest Nikhila. So one of the beauty of Toastmaster is we break the fear of public speaking. And the known fear we clutch our mind. What will happen if I fail? Or what people will think about me? And what will happen if I forget the lines during the speaking? But our speaker then encourage you to fail. So you can overcome the uncomfortable feeling to become a comfortable. How you can eradicate this uncomfortable feeling by practicing, take up the roles and speak up in every meeting. Whatever you knowledge, your thoughts are, speak up. You can be more comfortable as the time progresses. So as audience, how you can help the meeting? You can clap. How you can clap in the meeting? You can turn on emoji or videos to clap. So every meeting has a theme. So in today's meeting, the theme is winter memories as aligned to the season also. And for and today we have a Toastmaster of the day to speak about the winter memories, that is Toastmaster Samita. Please give a big round of applause to welcome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Samita. Back to you, team Samita.
Hello and good morning, everybody. On this bright and winter morning, Sunday, that too, a day of a holiday. I see all the bright faces and it makes me so happy. So let's think about this winter season. What are those core memories that you have? What memories do you have when I say the word winter season? Yes, please unmute and one by one you can tell me. Shall we start with our grammarian, Toastmaster Vishal?
Sure. So winter for me is a season where lots of it's India is divided and India cultures comes as a unison. For example, the North India is freezing cold, whereas South India is still in a peaceful environment, right? So, and because I've lived in both the parts, I know the difference and the enjoyment it offers. While you are in the north part or either whether you are in the southern part, you enjoy a different kind of winter, and that's in a way diversity, and that's makes winter a very special season for us as Indians.
Yes, North and South, two different climates and two different places to enjoy. Yes, our timer Veena, what is your memory of winter season? What do you love about winter season?
When someone says winter, I'm immediately reminded of the winter holidays from maybe just because I passed out from college and school recently. So I'm reminded of fun and that absolute free time where you can just hang out with friends, enjoy the cold weather, of course, hot coffee, hot chocolate, and there are also many events in the city pertaining to Christmas and uh, in general events, entertainment events. So that is what reminds me.
Yes, winter means holidays. And what best than to just enjoy with your friends, hang out, go to different festivities that goes around. And of course, one more thing, you have your warm blanket and you sleep. You can sleep so peacefully in winter. Yes. So let me ask our Toastmaster Arun. Arun, how do you think of winter? What are the memories you have?
Yeah, primarily as you were actually mentioning, like the I mean like too much of time under the blankets, especially in the morning time because of the hot season, and because of the same stuff, like same reason, like I'll be spending more time, maybe comparatively more time in gym or other activities, so that it will be more active. So to make it more active, so we might need to actually do more exercises. I generally prefer to go to gym or maybe sometimes other activities. So these are the two primary things which I would say like
That-
more, more towards me, yeah, from my side.
Okay, that's lovely. More exercise. Wow, that's great. Yes, our guest, Nikhila, would you like to share?
I think one of the thoughts that came to my mind was something that you mentioned, warmer clothes. So whenever it's winter season, it's cardigan season. So I very much like winter clothes. Unfortunately, it's not so applicable in Bangalore weather. But yeah, that's what I think about. And another thing came into mind when Arun was talking about fitness, is that winter to me feels like you're mellowing down, you're unwinding, you're relaxing, and gearing up for the next summer season. So that's what comes to mind.
Absolutely. Winter is a season just like our nature. In winter, you will find that there are many seeds which are buried under the ground, looking as if they are dead. But come the spring season, and you'll find them bursting to life. So that was the season when they were just within themselves, like how we are under the blanket thinking about what life is offering us. Similarly, winter season is a season when we can just go inside ourselves, inside our head, to think where are we heading to, and then come the warmer months and we will work towards our goal. Yes, our table topic master today, Toastmaster Lalita, what is your winter memory?
For me, winter reminds of dense fog. Like my office is in Devnali and I start pretty early. So 6:30, 7 o'clock, the fog is like so dense that Devnali is like a little greenery. It's associated more with greenery. So the fog is really dense. At times I wonder, like, how the people on the road they drive. And they normally say like fog is very dense in North India. But I really experience this towards this rural areas and all. The fog is really dense. So winter reminds me of thick, dense fog.
Dense fog. Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Dense fog. Suddenly, the very things every single day you are observing around you changes. It looks dreamy. Of course, it's very difficult to drive, but if we can just move our head a little from that problem and enjoy that fog, you feel as if you're on a hill station. And that too without going anywhere, right? Your daily road that you are traveling. It is difficult when you have to reach in time, you don't like it, but at the same time, we enjoy it. Yes, our general evaluator Sankhya.
For me, I'm literally shivering as well. And enjoy about winter, especially the winter at Delhi, is if I have to go anywhere, especially at night or in the early morning, it's wrapped up around. But then when you are in the road, I love the little icy winds coming to the face. So that's what I always enjoy. Plus, added with that, if I have a hot cup of coffee or a tea in the street, actually, so that is something which is like heavenly. We love that.
Yeah, street food. Who doesn't love to go out on the street? Even if you're shivering with cold, you go out and that hot steaming cup of tea or coffee in your hand and that first sip, maybe it'll burn your tongue, but still you feel it so good and you enjoy that. See, winter season maybe is difficult. You have layers of clothes, traveling is difficult, food becomes different for us, festivities round the corner, but we enjoy it. And when the summer months are on us, it is very, very hot. What do? We start thinking of the winter months and wondering, wow, it was so cold. Now it is so warm, so it's so hot. And those memories make us smile a little, make us happy a little on those very hot summery days. So, this is the theme, and I will be talking about food, clothing, and festivities that we have during winter season. But before this, let us just go towards the meeting. And as in Toastmasters, for the benefit of the guest, let me explain to you the structure of the meeting. Usually, in a regular Toastmasters meeting, we have three sections. One is the prepared speech section, one is the table topic section, and third is the evaluation section. But today, something special is there. So we will be having the prepared speech section, we will be having the table topic section, evaluation section, and we will be having one of the very experienced Toastmaster coming and talking to us about the ways role taking at Toastmaster. That we will be having just after we finish our speech, evaluation, and table topic. And to run this meeting, we have something who will be with us throughout the meeting. He will be our general evaluator. Now, our general evaluator is someone who has been making robots work in finance. Now, this is something really interesting because he turns all the dull things into cool. He tells stories so well that even boring number sheets want to laugh. And when he's not playing with robots or making people laugh, he's chowing down on his favorite dish, biryani. Here is a number guy who knows how to mix fun work and a good meal together. Put your hands together for our general evaluator for today, Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. And good morning, everyone. What a lovely day today. And with the theme of the winter coming in, what's better to have a cup of hot coffee along? And comes always something which is called, something with the snacks. So with the snacks is like coming up with as a feedback as well. So that's my role today as a general evaluator. So my role would be like I will be evaluating the entire meeting end to end. Well, what could have been improved on? And someone says that feedback is also like a flashlight in the dark, showing us where to get better and grow, because it helps us learn and improve easily. And that's what this role is all about. Now, to help me with this role, I have a team who is popularly known as the TAG team, the timer, our counter, and the grammarian. So let me first invite the timer of the day to speak on the objective. Toastmaster Veena.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. So as timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And just okay. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. For table topics, the table topic speeches should be between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Veena. Now, may I invite my second team member, the R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Today I am playing a role of a counter, and as a role of a counter, I'll be taking a note of some of the filler words which speaker will use during his or her speech. Some of words those are and, so, basically, actually, likely, and sound like a etc. At the end of the session, I will share the comprehensive report of how many time particular speaker has used such words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. Now, may I request our grammarian, Toastmaster Vishal, to be on the stage?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sankhya. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As grammarian, my role is to identify some good usage of grammars during the meeting, some not so good usage of grammars, some words, some phrases. I'll be noting this all down and I'll tell my reports when called upon towards the end of the meeting by general evaluator. Also, my role involves letting you know the word of the day for today's meeting. So the word of the day for today's meeting is iteration. It means repetition of something. One example would be the app is now in its 10th iteration. Another example would be Toastmaster Lalita uses the word dense fog or iterated the word dense fog thrice. So these are some of the simple usage of the word iteration. I encourage all of you to use the word iteration in your table topic segment, in your speech segment in general. And whenever someone says that word, please encourage by giving a thumbs up, either by emoticons, or you can just show the thumbs up within the in your video as well. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishal. Also, may I request you to put the word of the day and the meaning in the chat window. With that, let's give a round of applause for the tag timer, the timer, our counter, and the grammarian for today's meeting. And as the meeting, we will come back with this team towards the end of the meeting with our feedback and other aspects. So with that, let me hand over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Samita.
Thank you so much. So we will start with our first section, that is the prepared speech section. We have our first speaker, Toastmaster Aditya, and evaluator, Toastmaster Abhishek. So Toastmaster Abhishek, are you there?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Aditya, originally from Bangalore, is driven by his ambition to serve the Indian Armed Forces. He completed his studies in automobile engineering at SRM University in Chennai. Aditya spends his leisure time playing cricket, immersing himself in books, and enjoying music. Renowned for his genuine nature, he radiates love and affection in all his interaction. His pathway is team collaboration, level 1, speech 3. Toastmaster Aditya, parents are the world.
Samita,
yes.
Invite Abhishek for the evaluation objective.
Okay, sorry. Toastmaster Abhishek.
Yeah.
Please read out the speech.
Yeah, the purpose of the speech is to enhance the speech using vocal variety and body language. So what do you, Toastmaster Samita?
Toastmaster Aditya, parents are the world. Parents are the world, Toastmaster Aditya.
Can you see this? Can you see and hear me?
Yes,
we
can.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. And my topic is parents of the world. Now I want to ask the question. How many of you are close to both mother and father? Equally. Okay. You could see, right, that many races are up. Only few people are there. Not that they don't like each other, but it is because they are more close to them, is because they are more with them. So basically, they are more ants because without father, there's no mother. Without mother, there's no father. It is a bonding between two. And not only that, it is also bonding with your cousins or siblings. If you're a lucky champ like me, I have one sibling who's elder to me. Now, let me tell one story. Basically, a story of Lord Shiva, Ganesh, and Kartikeya. Lord Shiva said that if you rotate around the earth, if you run around the earth, who comes first, I will give you a fruit. Then Kartikeyan, with full excited, overconfidently, went around the earth. Immediately, Ganesh thought, Lord Ganesha thought that, let me go around my parents. So my Ganesh went around the parents and stand. And Shiva asked, why are you running around me? He said, Pita, parents are the world. So that is a topic that I am going to tell you in my real and lifetime. Basically, my parents, my father and mother, had helped me in my academics, in my sports category, in my relationships, and even in my in my cybercrime, how the people are around us, and all those things. Let us come to one category about my academics. When fourth standard of fifth standard, I was quite difficult for me to read one single page. And next day was a test. Basically, I was trying to read single and single and single and single, and the teacher got annoyed. He said, "What is this? You are reading very slowly and not able to read. You are going to fail this examination. You will not even get 1 mark. Leave about getting full." I was not feeling that much because my father had thought that when people started insulting you, don't get that insult things. Get that what mistake you have done and show something you can improve it. So my mother took the entire time, about 8 to 7 hours, gradually taught me to read. And from the worst reading habits, my mother have changed within 2 days how my reading capacity has increased gradually. Then during the examination, I just lost 1 mark and teacher got praised and praised all front of me. And that was a very wonderful day that, everybody praised me. Wow, you have got full marks. You have very good talent. Then because of that, my mother put my whole soul efforts, I could able to get it. Then after that, my academics improvement is because of my mother, and plus way of strategy where I passed many competitive exams is also because of my mother, which plays a vital role in my career. Now let us go to my father. My father, during my office times, where the boss gets annoyed or where the politics is inside, and plus in my career in my schools. So in schools, you can see there's a cricket career where I was quite nervous in playing the fast bowling, and I was a fast bowler too, where I was quite nervous that they're going to hit me for 6 and 4. But my father had went and to my ground and practiced the spot bowling, and my father was there in the hot sun. So after that, I played and I got various wickets. Then in my office times, where first day my boss and me had a great fight. And basically, I didn't know what he was about to say. I thought he was only targeting on me. Then I told to this my father my father. He said, "Just listen to your boss and give a smile. Don't be reactive." I am a reactive person, so I am very short tempered and reactive. But my father had tried to make me cool and calm. So by encouraging few sense of humor in my mind. Then my brother had played a real role where in all the relationships I go into ups and downs. I don't understand the world, entire world, what is it going on, but my brother was in the first step to take it. Now, a basic things that I want to say is that everyone can try to do something else. If you see three people have supported me even now in my life. And basically, there is one thing that I would love to say is parents are like an arrow or a bow. Just believe I'm the mind. The person who is saw the archery. I know how many of you saw an archery game? Yes. In an archery game, is that one person is a mind. That is a person who's trying to aim is your mind. And an arrow is something which you are trying to aim off, or trying to, get a direction. For example, I am getting a direction to serve an Indian army, and I'm trying my level best, putting my full percent efforts in that. And do competitions I may get anytime. So basically, this is a bow where my parents are there. A bow is my mother, or string is my father. Depends upon your life. So bow and a string is something which I get supported. And a person who's trying to aim, the person who's thinking, okay, that to join Indian Army is the person, and the arrow is me. So I'm hitting in the direction. You could believe, can anyone say that without a bow or a string, can anyone aim? Is it possible? It is not a possible, because you cannot throw like this. It will go there, here, and get irrigated somewhere else. Instead of you are aiming at Chennai, it will go to Andaman Nicobar. So basically, that is a problem where you need to understand where to aim and where to be focused. So a bow and a string supported me to aim to join Indian Armed Forces or be a better life. Now I can say, like, how many of you like try to go to some trip? I've organized many things. Like you're going to a trip, or you're going to a place where you don't know, you're not aware of it. Then you remember your father or your mother. Basically, what I realized during my college times, or before when I was in 12th standard, my mother was forcibly saying, read, 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 read. And I was like frustrated. Why my mother is always telling me read, always telling me read. Then I was thinking that let me go out of uh, my house. So I'll be very peace. And what actually happened was, I thought I'll be very peace. Then I went to the hostel and I thought, okay, Harsh, I have fulfilled my life. I'm in hostel. Now no one is going to study. And no, and you see, at all, I challenged my mother that without you, I'll get full out of full every subject. So basically, I tried that. Then I realized, I told my mother that don't worry, I can do everything alone, and I will not ask any doubt related to that. Then after 3 days or 4 days, I started asking how to make this, how to read, and how to this in that time, because I got that in that huge distance, you realize that mother is very required and your father is also required for a money. Then I was little bit of this thing, a loose bet that I could not be without my mother or without my father. With 4 or 5 years, I always used to call in any night, and every weekends I used to come to Bangalore and repeatedly coming here. So this is what in everything you can also try in your own time, where you can see your parents are standing even now. Now, if I'm walking in a jungle, believe you're walking in a jungle with your friends. It is a very, very deserted place where you can walk, no one is there. It's a very dangerous jungle. But you are an adventurous person. Your mother, father allowed you because you feel happy. You are in the age of 25, 26. Then you're walking. And basically, you won't believe, no one will think about you. In that time, your parents will think about you, where this guy is going, where is he sitting, what is he doing there, and if he has a problem, what will we do? So they will think in that sense. Where you walk in the jungle, there's a bird coming in you, a very scary bird like king, king, and also uh, a tiger is also visible. People say tiger came here, and all this came here. So when I went to the jungle, which was in the north part of the India, there it was a like jungle, and in the night time it was not allowed. But still, we were illegally went to the night time. But so that was the very scariest things. My friends and everyone was a little scared. But my father was like even saying that do not feel scared. If you are just going forward and forward and forward, if you get anyways, people are going to die. There's no other thing. But but be very secure. So don't worry about the life if you're going to die or not going to die. At least once you're going to die. So I was thinking in that sense, and I was walking. This jungle was beautiful, and everything was in my mind. No net, nothing was there. My parents was worried. Then after coming back, from my jungle. There were a lot of fruits, a lot of things which I took from the jungle and gave to my mother. Because this jungle I was very scared in the first time. Without my father or my mother, I could not go because no one had encouraged me to go to that jungle, which was very scared. But I was putting my efforts to go and confident to go. Now I'm speaking in front of everybody. I'm the first of the Toastmaster, and joining my Toastmaster is because of my parents. Because he needs to get communicated. People are saying your communication is bad, your communication is bad, your communication is bad. And more than me, my mother had felt a lot. And he said, you can do it. You join Toastmaster, you see, you are going to break all the no's out of it. And I'm standing here and giving a speech which makes me confident, cool, and also in a very confident way, I'm trying to improve gradually. But still, I need to improve a lot. But my parents are supporting me in each and every step by step, step by step. Even if you get married, still your parents are there. Because we want a roti, like in India, they say, माँ का roti or माँ का सब्जियां बिना तो नहीं खा सकते. That is like without my mother's roti or my mother's food, I don't get any fulfilled. So only my favorite food is my mother's making food, which is food which makes you love to eat, and always they are together. So basically, it is like a where I told you it is like a what is this called? Arrow and bow and string and this. Arrow, there is no string. Without string, there is no bow. Without the bow, there is need of person to think. That is you. So you need to think. You need to think to yourself. You need an arrow. That is you. You need a bow, or you need everything to aim a particular point, which is the target. So I will end up to all these things. These parents are the world. I took it from Lord Ganesh said to Lord Shiva. The parents are the world, and this is applicable to everyone else. Wherever in India, if you see, where you can see the culture that whenever you're going outside or whenever you're trying to aim something, you will take an Ashirwad and go. And that will be a very positive vibes while you're trying to work in any sectors. So always, wherever I go, I always think of my mother and my father. So last thing I can say you is parents are the world. It is like an arrow and a bow and a person who's trying to target. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. A big round of applause for him. Yes, we also agree that parents are someone whom we always look up to, and they are always there with us. So let me quickly jump into the second section of today's meeting. We have the interesting table topic section. We have Toastmaster Lalita. Toastmaster Lalita is HR by profession and has around 10 plus years of experience. She has completed MA in Public Administration and PG Diploma in HR Management. Over to you, Toastmaster Lalita, for the table topic section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samita, for such a warm welcome. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Lalita, and I'll be the table topic master in today's meeting. But before starting, let me tell you what table topic session really means. Table topic session is kind of an impromptu speaking session where the table topic master will be giving you a topic. You get 5 to 10 seconds of time to think, and then you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and for a maximum of 2 minutes. Our timer will share the screen. The moment you cross 1 minute, it will be changed to green color. And when it turns to 1 minute 30 seconds, it will change to yellow. And when it goes to 2 minutes, that goes to red. And you will have another 30 seconds to wrap up the speech. So let's start the session. Who would like to volunteer first? Anyone would like to volunteer? Okay, guess Nikila? Yes, sure. So your topic is, what is your favorite travel destination?
Oh, this is an interesting one. So, I'm sure all of us would have heard, at least if not seen, the series called Game of Thrones. And in the hype that the series created, it also created a hype for the country where majority of the shooting happened, which was Iceland. And me and a friend of mine, being a fan of the series, we decided, why not? Why not go to Iceland? And so both of us planned this detailed itinerary and traveled on our own to Iceland for a 10-day trip, where we basically had a road trip covering all of the coastal areas of Iceland. And the key aspect of the travel was actually for the Northern Lights, because of course, there's not many times in our lives that we would actually get to see it unless we are part of those regions. And for the 10 days, we stayed up all night wanting to check the night sky. And there was an app as well to track the auroras. But unfortunately, for 9 days, nothing. And as luck would have it, the very last day before we had to set out, the night was filled with auroras. It was just mesmerizing. And it was really a travel to remember. So yeah, that I think is a favorite destination of mine because of all of the memories that came out of it. So yeah, that is my favorite travel destination. So thank you.
Thank you, Nikila. I too wish I traveled to Iceland and I experienced whatever you said. Thank you. And next, would anyone like to volunteer? Yes, Arun. Your topic would be, when was the last time you tried something new? What was it? When was the last time you tried something new? What was it?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the topic, Toastmaster. So, though it is totally new, but the thing is like, as Vishal was telling, like the main problem is like, how do we communicate, or maybe how do we improve the communication? So I was checking like, how do I change it? What are things I can actually change? Especially our account, like a lot of things are actually coming in the discussion. I mean, like while any topic discussion, right? Whatever we are actually discussing, either with friends or actually in the office or any other important locations, or maybe in the situations. So I was thinking like the things which I actually should be trying maybe in my the career as well as in life is like, probably why should not I actually check how do I change it, these kind of behaviors, and then change into something better. So that's what I was thinking, like like coming to Toastmasters and then actually trying out like the different ways of changing the communication patterns and other specific behaviors, right? So that's what actually which I tried maybe over the last few months, and then I was coming as a guest to Toastmasters, and then recently I changed to the member. I'm thinking like I'll be having more opportunities, and then moving ahead, and then I will really improve on my way. And that's what I actually tried, or maybe something very new in my life recently. Thank you.
Thank you. I totally agree. Toastmasters is a platform for improving the communication skills and to overcome all these weaknesses, whatever we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next, anyone would like to volunteer next? Okay, Toastmaster Samita. Okay, your topic would be, which is worse, failing or never trying? Which is worse, failing or never trying?
Which is worse? Failure. Of course, it has a stigma attached to it. When someone says that you have failed, internally you feel as if you have done something very wrong. Does anyone ever question us when we don't try things? When we don't even take the effort to do something which makes us feel frightened, which is outside our comfort zone? something which we have never dreamt of trying before. For me, failure is the best teacher. Have I failed? Numerous times. Did I feel bad? Extremely. Did I want to leave everything and run away? Of course I did. The moment when I started trying to ride a bicycle, I was of all of 2 feet and my bicycle was of 3.5 feet because I was trying my father's cycle for the first time. And believe me, for 2.5 months, I was failing every single day. To the present, when I wanted to learn how to organize the Zoom call, and I couldn't. I was failing repeatedly in changing my background, in changing the day, the setting. Everything looked so difficult for me. But did I ultimately succeed? Yes, to some extent. Maybe there are many features which I can't use till now. I have to again try. I have to try to fail to succeed. So in life, it is very important that we take failure with a pinch of salt because every failure teaches us something. Every single failure is not a total failure because you have learned that doesn't work. So work next time. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, Table Topic Master of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samita, for sharing such inspiring stories for all of us. Next, Vibhuti, guest Vibhuti, would you like to give a try? Okay. So,
Yes.
okay.
Hello.
Yes, Vibhuti?
Yes.
Okay. Vibhuti, your topic would be, is a little knowledge a dangerous thing? Is a little knowledge a dangerous thing?
Right. So in today's world, we know that it is a very trending phrase that is called knowledge economy, right? Everything in our world is constantly being driven by knowledge, data, and access to those pieces of studies which are usually not public or which are usually very inaccessible. Thus, these topics or these constant iterations of small parts of entire knowledge tends to create curiosity and excitement among larger public. This excitement leads to more and more versions of the same knowledge. Suppose regarding this new COVID variant that is coming across to all of us, that in Bangalore itself, there's a lot of spread of this COVID variant. This is a small part of the larger information. However, the depth or the infection levels of it is not known by many. Thus, I feel that a small part of any knowledge is harmful to the society. I'm so sorry I was not very present this time.
That's fine. Thanks, Vibhuti, for sharing your thoughts on this topic. Next, guest Amod, would you like to give a try?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So your topic would be how to annoy a sibling. How to annoy a sibling.
Yeah, it's a very close topic to my heart. So I have a younger sister who loves me to do always pampering to her. Whatever she wants from me, and she wants me to understand what needs she has, and I need to give her whatever she wants. And most of the time, whatever I have, she wants that only. She don't want new thing. She want my thing only. So I need to give her. Otherwise, my parents will tell me, why you are not giving her your thing. You can buy new whatever you want, but give your things to your sister. And that's why I like to give her my all things, because she supported me a lot during the period which I want a lot of emotional support. So that's all, and that's over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Amod. You took all of us back to our childhood memories. So thank you for sharing this story. So with that, I'll be closing the table topic session, and I'll be passing it on to Toastmaster Samita.
Let us give a big round of applause to our table topic master, Toastmaster Lalita, for such wonderful topics that she has brought. I will hand over the stage to the general evaluator for the evaluation section now. General evaluator, Samita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. Now, beginning with the last session in these three segments, and of course, the session which is coming after this. So for the session is going to be divided into three parts. The first part, wherein we will have the evaluation of the prepared speech, followed by the tag team report, and finally my overall evaluation. So to begin with the first part of this session, may I request our evaluator, Toastmaster Abhishek, please evaluation for Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. And so Toastmaster Aditya, he presented his speech where the objective of the speech was to enhance the speech based on body language or vocal variety. So you clearly met your objective, and the way you spoke, like all your body language, it was really visible, and a lot of time you used your hand gestures on different times. And another thing which I noted is that there are too much usage of the hand gesture and body language, which you can, one or two places you can avoid. Whenever it's required, then only you can use. Else, over usage of hand gesture, that may not be applicable. And other than that, you can use the vocal variety to enhance or exaggerate the speech. You can, a lot of time, like you came up with a beautiful example of Lord Ganesha. You can exaggerate that when, and you can add something more. So exaggeration may be required, and so vocal variety, and emphasize on certain points. Like whenever parents are everything, and they did this, how it helped. So you can put more exaggeration. And other than that, I think overall it was very good. You came with different examples, how your parents helped, and mother, father. It was wonderfully explained, and hand gesture, everything. So to summarize, just focus on some more vocal variety, and the hand gestures a little bit you can curtail, and whenever required you can use. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. Now, Toastmaster Abhishek, a few points on your evaluation. I agree with all the points that you have mentioned on. So one point for Toastmaster is that since it's a body language and the voice, so your body language, as rightly pointed out by Abhishek, plays a huge role. So there are often very times your hand was clasped like this, or or occasionally if you move your hand, then again it is coming back. Now what happens at this point of time is when you keep your hand clasped, when you feel nervous from inside, then we keep your hand clasped, or you tend to speak very fast. So these are the signs of the nervousness which everybody has got into. So the thing is that you should try to keep your hands open always, or do something in terms of, but do not keep your hand clasped unless and until it's a part of your script, which is intended to do so, which is a different thing. But otherwise, try to move that. Second thing is that in terms of as Abhishek pointed out, in terms of your voice clarity, you have to give a more intonations or the pauses or the emotions within that. For example, as I can say that you are walking in the jungle. So when you say you are walking in the jungle, this is one way of saying. But the same word, when you say it, I was walking in the jungle, and then something comes up. So the moment you change the way you speak, it will have a profound impact. Even the sentence remains the same, right? And last but not the least, although the timer hasn't given the timing yet, but I think you have exceeded the time by too much. So just keep your timing within the limit, because in Toastmaster the time plays a very crucial role. Even if it's 1 second extra than the limited time, your speech can get that disqualified. But overall, a very good attempt. I'm really happy with that. And let's give a round of applause for our Toastmaster, for Aditya, and for our evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Abhishek. Thank you so much. Now, moving on to our second part of this general evaluation, may I request our tag team's report. May I request our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Veena, to please present your report.
Sure, Toastmaster Sankhya. Just a second. Yeah, hoping my screen is visible. So our speaker, Toastmaster Aditya, spoke for 14 minutes, 12 seconds. Toastmaster Abhishek spoke for 1 minute, 40 seconds. Coming to our table topics, Nikhila spoke for 1 minute, 33 seconds. Samita, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Arun, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Vibhuti, 1 minute, 40 seconds. And about 1 minute, 15 seconds. This is my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Veena. Let's give a round of applause for our timer of the day, Toastmaster Veena. And now moving on to our counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. I will share my screen. Please confirm once my screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So Nikhila used once. Arun has used thrice. Once. Vibhuti used twice. Amod used once, and Sankhya once. Toastmaster speaker used once, and many times. And basically many times. Thrice, and but twice. So this was my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. Let's give it for our counter for today's meeting. Finally, we have the grammarian for today, and let me welcome to the stage Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sankhya. So today we have very good usage of grammars, which I have noted, and I let you know, everyone. Some good usage of grammars were bursting to life, the vocabulary of dense fog, feedback is flashlight in the dark, comprehensive, driven by ambition, vital role, short tempered, hype, itinerary, mesmerizing, stigma attached to it, numerous time, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Knowledge economy, and I'll come to this knowledge economy used by Vibhuti in greater details. Inaccessible, exaggerate the speech, emphasize the speech. So these were some good usage. Kudos to all of you and applause to all of you for using these brilliant words in your vocabulary day-to-day life. Now, some not so good usage and where we can improve. Something who will be with us should be someone who will be with us. Many raises are up. It should be many people are raising their hands. In my cyber crimes, something it should be like educate me against cyber crimes. All out of full, it should be ace every subject. And then there were few words like each and every step by step. So it's repetition or an iteration of the two things in the same sentence. It should be avoided because both means the same. Now, when I said knowledge economy, the reason I mentioned, I'll come back to it, is because this is an evolving trend where we combine two distinct subjects and join it, and it creates a subject in all. So keep your mind and ears open when you hear something similar to this. Knowledge economy. Other examples of this are green technology, space tourism, virtual reality, digital marketing. So two subjects, bit distinct, but they are used and they convey a different meaning. So these are the words which we should always be mindful of. Today, word of the day was iteration. Unfortunately, there were few iteration of the word of the day iteration, but I would like to mention Toastmaster Vibhuti for mentioning this word of the day. Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Vibhuti. That's all from my side as grammarian report. The stage is all yours, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishal. Let's give a round of applause for our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vishal. And with that, we will move on to the third segment of my general evaluation. So the meeting was started by Toastmaster Akshay as a sergeant at arms. Let me kudos to Toastmaster Akshay, because Toastmaster Akshay, this is the first role, the meeting role, which you have taken, and you did it marvelously well. You have just joined the Toastmaster, the Speakers Day, just a week back, and you have started taking roles, and kudos to you. Very well said in terms of setting up the meeting expectations, starting the meeting on time. You have rightly pointed out the meeting roles, what has to be done, and what has not to be done as well. So let's give a round of applause for our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Arun. And then the baton was passed on to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Venkatesh, what a warm welcome. You always come up whenever you take up the presiding officer for today's meeting. I see that you engage the audience, engage the guest. You took the the introduction of the guest. You have always very well engagement with the guest, because the way you ask the questions to the audience about the Toastmaster history, instead of just going through the Toastmaster history, was itself people can feel energetic about that. Everything was done. Just a small improvement, I would say, or no, it was not an improvement, and just it would have been taken a little bit taken it better, is adding a few little bit emotions whenever you are driving this role, because as a presiding officer, you are also the face of the meeting. You open up the meeting, so whenever your interaction with the audience, or whenever you are speaking about the Toastmaster history or anything, if just add a little bit emotions or excitement about that, that will be a cherry on the ice cream as well. So kudos to that. Let's give a round of applause for our presiding officer, Toastmaster Venkatesh. And then the baton was passed on to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Samita. Toastmaster Samita, you opened up the introduction with a very high and very positive note. I really love that, the way you started off. Then the way you started interacting with the audience about the theme, asking each other that how can how do you relate to the theme? That was kudos for that. The theme itself was very well chosen. Everybody can relate to that theme, winter, and and also the way you come up with the transitions. When it comes to the speaker, then you transition very smoothly to the evaluator, and then you also transition to the Toastmaster of the day, as sorry, TTM, tabletop master. Okay, and so great job done on that. Just a small thing in terms of when you are introducing the speaker, always do a audio video check, because in the era of internet, we never know that when someone gets dropped out, or the internet gets unstable. That's the only thing over there. And apart from that, it was really great, and I'd love to hear and see you as a TMOD in other sessions as well. Let's give a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Samita. And finally, it was the turn of our table topic master, Toastmaster Lalita. Toastmaster Lalita, you are a pro as a table topic master. You always come to the stage with a warm smile, with you have a aura around you. You place yourself in a very gentle way. You have your own way, I would say. Kudos to that. What I really love about the session is first you introduce that what is the table topic, then the timing behind that very clearly well explained, because we have a lot of guests and it is important for us that they should understand what we are going inside the sessions. Each of the topic was very handfully chosen, keeping in mind the simplicity and also the shortness of the topic. The topic was not very large so that people will not remember. Short and crisp and up to the mark, and you also keep in mind the timing as well. So kudos to that, Toastmaster Lalita, and let's give a round of applause for our table topic master, Toastmaster Lalita. And with that, we are now at the end of the general evaluation session, and thank you so much. Let me hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Samita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. That was a detailed evaluation that we had from you. All the points are well taken and we will work on it. Let us give a round of applause for our General Evaluator. The very fact that we are sitting today in a cool environment, talking of the winter memories, we have so much to work on. We have our beautiful winter clothes to think about what to wear, how to wear. We have the beautiful food that we can eat. India, being such a large country, we are privileged enough to have a very cold, foggy morning in the northern part to a slightly chill morning in the southern parts. From the east to west, we celebrate a lot of festivals, bringing in a whole lot of food items along with it. We are privileged enough to go to every state and taste different food during the Sankranti. All of us are in a festive mood, ready to enjoy the winter. Though it is harsh, but in our heart and spirit, we are always ready to enjoy. And that's the spirit that we all carry. This was a wonderful meeting, and I will hand over the baton right now to the presiding officer of today, Venkatesh Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. As a presiding officer, I close the meeting number 359. Yes, Samita?
Yes. After the meeting is closed officially, we will just wait for another very interesting and fun-filled session, the Rockstar session today. DTM Sourav Datta, are you there?
I'm there.
We have with us none other than our distinguished Toastmaster, Sourav Datta. I don't need to introduce him at all. He is in the Toastmaster since September 2020. Everyone knows about him, but still, let me tell you that he is ex-division director of Division B, District 92, outstanding Toastmaster and Grand Slam Master Mentor of District 92. He is 9th Path Breaker, three Triple Crown winners, and what more, he is an amazing mentor. I personally look up to him for the way he delivers his speeches, the way he brings the best in us by being the best mentor that we have. And today we are all set to listen from him how and ways of the role taking at Toastmasters. Over to you, DTM Sourav Datta.
Thank you so much. So good morning, everyone. I think it's good afternoon now. We are 13 minutes past noon. So let me start with this. Can I have a quick check on the time? How much time do we have for this session? Shankar?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay, great. So let's make it a very interactive session. Let's not have a one-way conversation. So all the people who have taken up roles in this meeting today, I have a question for you. What made you take up this role? Why did you take up this role? You definitely have better things to do on a Sunday morning. So why are you here? Don't tell me Shanko was repeatedly nagging you, calling you, asking you to take up the roles, because that is definitely one of the reasons, but that should not be the only reason. Why are you here? Samita, I know you and I were in another meeting, and from there we jumped up to this meeting. So why did you come here? What was your intention?
I love being in Toastmaster, taking up roles, because that is how I push myself to do something new.
Okay. The classic textbook response. Okay. Who else is there? Okay. Veena, she has taken up the timer. Veena, why
Yes.
did you take up the timer role?
I took it up to build my confidence and to experience new things in life, to experience more in life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how would you gain confidence? By showing green, yellow, and red cards?
Small step. It is one of the starting step, I think. So it's a very doable role. So I thought I'll start from here and slowly build and show, of course, present a report. Even saying things like this person took 1 minute is a step forward for me.
Okay. Okay. What about Akshay? Akshay, how exciting is it counting the number of R's and ums that people are using?
Yes, Sourav. So, to understand how many times or the filler word basically used by the speaker, and for me, how it helps. So, to understand how we can avoid the speaker and improve the quality of the speech, right? So that I think definitely will help.
I don't know if you would have all decided, or probably Shankar would have told you that this is something that Sourav always starts the session with. So he will ask you some questions, give good goody answers. So let's get into the real stuff, guys. Let's understand, why are we here? What are we doing here? And why are we doing whatever we are doing? Right? So I want us all to walk away from this session with a very clear understanding that when we are taking a role, why are we taking a role? Because if that why is not clear to you, you will always need someone to run behind you, and you will not be in this meeting with your heart and soul. People drop off from the meeting roles giving flimsy excuses because for one simple reason. How many of you have dropped off from a date that you have always been wanting to go to? None of us, right? We only look for an excuse to ghost out on a date only when we know that this date is not going to add any value to my date, right? So always remember, excuses are the best excuse that we have when we don't have a reason to do something, when we don't see a value in doing something. So let's get that why very clear. Why are we doing this role? Toastmasters is where? Toastmasters is where? What's the tagline?
Leaders are made.
Leaders are made. And how many of you joined Toastmasters to become leaders? Seriously. How many of you knew this tagline even before you joined Toastmasters? Come on, guys.
No.
Be real. How many of you knew this line before you joined Toastmasters? I didn't know this line before I joined Toastmasters. I didn't even know that there's something like Toastmasters. Then when I knew there's something like Toastmasters, I didn't know what Toastmaster does. For a very good amount of time, I thought that this is a place where you learn how to bake breads, right? And then someone told me, no, this is a place you know how to drink the right way. I said, okay, for people like me who believe in bottoms up, how does it really matter how to raise a toast, right? And then I got to know, no, all of this is symbolic. Actually, what you're going to learn here is public speaking. And then when I joined here, people told me this is a place where leaders are made. I'm like totally confused. So be very clear about it. You want me to be a speaker or a leader or both? Like I'm paying for being a speaker. You're saying you'll make me a leader. What's exactly is happening here? The reality is that we are here in Toastmaster because at some point of time, each of us felt the need to become a better speaker. Why did we feel the need? Some of us are a teacher, right? And when we were delivering to the class, we felt, a teacher or a trainer or a coach or a mentor, we felt that we could have done a better job in terms of educating the people. We were not able to tell the way we should for people to understand what we are trying to say. We know the subject, but we're not able to explain it. I need to explain it better. Some of us are in a professional role. How many software developers out here? Techies. No techies. No techies. It's like a club based out of Bangalore. Seriously. Shanko, what is happening?
Yeah.
Okay, I see only one hand going up. Okay, it's a new Bangalore. It's not a Bangalore, I know. Okay, so anyway, so there's one techie in the room, Arun Ramachandran. So Arun would have had the problem where he understands the technology. He knows what exactly he has done, but there is a bunch of idiots sitting in front of him who he needs to explain all this to, who understand nothing about technology. Now, if that was bad, what's worse is that these are the people who will decide on his increment and his promotion, right? These are the so-called managers, the leaders, the directors. And while I'm taking this moral high ground, I have played that kind of a role. And I know very much that the people sitting across me, who are the techies, they were like, what do I explain this guy? I mean, how he doesn't understand anything about technology. For him, Python is more a snake than a programming language. How do I kind of drive any sense into his head? So people like Arun or people like Shanko who are like techies, analysts and all the intelligent guys, right? They're doing the kind of jobs that my mom always wanted me to do. So those are the people who struggle with explaining this thing to people who don't understand it. So how do I present it in a convincing manner? People who are in sales, you would have probably faced a situation where you felt that, I was not convincing enough. I'm losing the sales deal at the 6th level or the 7th level. Things are just not going into the books. People are just not signing on the dotted line. That is brought you to Toastmaster. And nothing that you do in a Toastmaster meeting should take you away from that goal. Because if that takes you away from that goal, you will not renew. I'm telling you right now, you will not renew. Maybe because Shanko is a nice guy, he's good friends with you. You will, and speakers then may need 2 more members. So you may oblige this term. Next term, again, the same story. And your journey in Toastmaster would be limited to you just showing up in a couple of meetings here and there and doing things you don't want to do. So now I want you to think, why are you here? How you being here is contributing to the reason why you joined Toastmasters in the first place. What was the trigger? What was your trigger, Samita?
I don't listen well.
You don't listen well, right? So that was your trigger. And if you're wondering how can someone survive by being not listening well, you can if you're a school principal. The Samita was a school principal. So that's why she can excel in her career without listening well. Okay. What about you, Shanko?
Yeah, for me, I was very introvert. So I wanted to speak out in front of the public. So that's my trigger.
And that's why he's here. As a general evaluator, he is speaking out in front of the public and we dare but challenge him and we stop him from speaking, right? Because he is the boss of the meeting. What was your trigger, Veena?
I changed my job. So on farewell day of my old job, I was supposed to give a speech and I bombed it. So that's my trigger.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, that is the moment of truth. That is what was the trigger.
Yeah.
What about you, Lalita? What was your trigger?
I wanted to improve my confidence level and communication level.
But what was the trigger? What was that moment when you said, like, yes, I have to join Toastmaster?
Because I used to fear to speak to people.
The fear.
Crowd.
At
Yes.
some point of time, some incident happened where you were like tongue-tied. You're like, the cat got my tongue, right? And that was your trigger. Every day you take up a role in a Toastmaster meeting, or even if you're attending a meeting as a guest, I want you to remember your trigger. Because that trigger is what got you started. That trigger is what will get you going. So let us understand now how the roles that you are playing today in this meeting is going to help you with the trigger. Now let's quickly shift gears a little bit and understand something. What are some of the qualities to become a good communicator?
Listening.
Confidence.
Listening, okay.
Confident.
Confidence. Confidence is a byproduct, is a function of many things.
Influencing.
Sorry?
Influencing.
Influencing, that is an outcome of it. What else? What else makes you a good communicator?
Structure the thought and then producing that.
Structuring your thoughts, articulation, right? Storytelling, all of these things go into making you a good communicator. But these are the things that you see at the surface. What's happening beneath the level? Why is it that some of us are able to structure the thought, but some of us can't? Why is it that some of the times we can structure our thoughts, some of the times we can't? Why is it on certain topics we can structure our thoughts, sometimes we can't? Why is it that on a particular topic we are able to speak in front of one group of audience, but the same topic, the same person cannot speak in front of another group of audience? So there are a couple of things which are at a softer level. For example, something like contextual intelligence. Contextual intelligence is where you develop your sense, your contextual sense, and you try to understand what's happening around you. And based on that, you make changes. Which of the Toastmaster meeting roles helps you develop contextual intelligence? What is that thing that happens in a Toastmaster meeting which helps us develop our contextual? What is contextual? How many of you can drive? Okay, when you're driving on the road, you see there is a passage on the left, you're on the right side of the road, right? Particularly bikers would know that. We are the terror on the road, right? We all the bikers. So when we see there is a small passage on the left-hand side and we are on the right side of the road, we take this left, right? That is what? That is contextual intelligence. No one told us. No one taught us in school. When you are on the right side of the road and you see there's a gap on the left, you have to cut between two cars. And even before the person can change from second gear to first gear, you have to whoosh past and go to the left lane. That is contextual intelligence. Which Toastmaster role? What happened? There's one particular role in Toastmaster meetings which helps you become good at contextual intelligence.
Team mode.
To a certain extent, yes, but then there's one role which absolutely prepares you for that.
I'm not sure there's a role, but it's an impromptu speaking.
Absolutely. Table topic speakers. It's not a role on the meeting roster, but it's definitely a role in the meeting, right? Where as a table topic speaker, one of the things that you learn is to develop your contextual intelligence. Contextual intelligence is not a soft skill. It is one of the soft skills, but it is actually a survival skill. There is nothing that you do in life which you can do successfully, which you can survive if you don't have enough contextual intelligence. There's a snake right in front of me. Do I need to fight, flight, or fright? Contextual intelligence. These decisions in life we make based on contextual intelligence, and the table topic section of a Toastmaster meeting empowers you with better contextual intelligence. There's something called cognitive flexibility. What is cognitive flexibility? Where you take an understanding of a cognition of the perspective around you and have the flexibility. One of the things is switching tasks, right? Moving from one task to another task, right? Or, for example, multitasking in certain cases. So, which of the roles help us with cognitive flexibility?
G, general evaluator.
Okay. Which are the other roles?
TMOD.
Which is okay. But there's one role which is prominently about cognitive flexibility. Multitasking, switching between tasks.
Timer?
Yes. The timer role. What does the timer do? One, the timer watches the time. Is the speaker taking 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 45 seconds? Two, the timer makes note of the time, right? And 3, the timer reports the time. And 4, the timer listens to the speaker. Remember, these are 4 distinct actions. And there are many a times when the timer gets so immersed in the speech, they forget to show time. I've seen it many a times, particularly if the speaker is really good, the timer would come and say, I forgot to show you the green card. I was so immersed in the speech. You can hate him for doing that, but think about it. Is it not natural? Because these are 2 independent actions: active listening, watching the time, and showing the timing cards. Give it a thought. Give it 1 second to think what I'm saying here. You're doing 3 things. You're listening to someone, full attention there. You're watching the time on your mobile, and you're making a note of the time, and you're changing the timing cards. In some cases, the timer shows the timing cards, listens to the speech, watches the time, but forgets to make a note of the time taken. They say, I'm so sorry, I forgot to make note of the second speaker's time. So timer role prepares you with cognitive flexibility, something that you need to do at work. Has it not happened to you that you were eating your food and you suddenly got a call from your boss? Or you were writing some report and suddenly someone comes and says, hey, have a quick glance at this. That quick glance took you away from that accounts to an email. And again, back to accounts. Now tell me one course in this world where you learn this. Which MBA curriculum, which engineering curriculum, which science, commerce, arts curriculum teaches you these skills? None. And tell me one career which you can pursue without learning these skills? None. Now there is this clear gap between what is expected of us and what we have been empowered to do. And this roles which you are playing in a Toastmaster meeting helps you bridge this gap. This bridging will not happen immediately. It is not that Veena will suddenly walk out with an extremely strong cognitive flexibility. It is not that after doing 2 table topics, suddenly I will become extremely good in contextual intelligence. But just like when you work out day after day after day, you do reduce your inches in the midsection. You develop a few muscles, triceps and biceps, if you keep on lifting weights. Similarly, if you keep on exercising your brain muscles, then ultimately it will happen at one point. And this is what we are practicing here. Now, let's go a level above in terms of the things that we can see. The team mode role, right? Let's start with the very basic role, the sergeant at arms. The sergeant at arms has a responsibility of starting the meeting. Right? One of the most underrated roles. But why is it so important for us to start the meeting? Have you ever thought, I would want to ask senior Toastmasters like Shanko here. Shanko has been a Toastmaster much before me also. Shanko, what was your thought? Why do we even need a sergeant at arms? Why can't the presiding officer open the meeting? If it's about talking about the 3 golden rules.
So, so there are 2 things. One is if I look into the physical meeting, the job of the arms is to ensure that everything is in order, starting.
No, I'm not talking about the sergeant at arms role of the officer.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the sergeant of roles officer. Okay, I'm talking about the sergeant at arms role in the meeting. I understand there is an SA who will plan the meeting logistics, blah, 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 physical meeting, Zoom meeting, etc. Let's keep that aside. Why is it that I cannot have, why do I need an Arun in the meeting? Why can't, who's the PO today? Venkatesh, right? So why can't Venkatesh himself say, good morning, maybe the Toastmasters and guests. I'm your presiding officer for today. And as the presiding officer, let me tell you that there are 2-3 things that you need to do. You need to switch off your mobiles. You need to be on camera. You need to stay muted. And in Toastmaster, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics and blah, 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 blah. And now let me hand over to the team. What is the problem with that?
Because at the starting of the meeting, the SA sets the ground rules. Now the PO.
Why can't the PO set the ground rule?
right? The PO actually starts the meeting like after the everything is in order. Like once the SA
Yes, but
puts
my question, why?
the
Huh?
Is breaking the
I don't
ice,
know.
setting up the meeting, starting the meeting.
Why can't the PO do it? Gauri, you want to share something?
I'm not sure, but is it because at Gabby's, one of the very important things is introducing others. So the presiding officer has some very important roles, like calling the meeting to order and, taking some important decisions if something goes wrong. So maybe the sergeant at arms is one of his most important things.
One very good point is that to introduce the PO. If the sergeant at arms is not there, then who will introduce the PO? The PO will have to come and say, hey, I am this and this, right? And that sounds so arrogant. And some people look naturally arrogant like me. So if I come and start giving my own self-introduction, imagine that here comes another narcissist. Come on, give me a break, right? So that's what the problem is. But that's one problem. What is the other problem? The other problem is each of you have come into this meeting with a baggage. Different forms of it, but each of you have come with a baggage. And that baggage is what we call as affective filters. What are affective filters? Affective filters are filters which prevent you from concentrating on the meeting or concentrating on anything that you want to do. One of the best examples of affective filter is your mobile phone, right? And for everything that's not happening good in life, we blame our mobile phones. Give a dog a bad name and hang it. But are the mobile phones the only affective filters?
No.
Right? Amod may be right now sitting and thinking that it's 12, by 1 o'clock, this meeting will get over. After that, I'll have to go for lunch. So should I book it now or should I go there and book it at the venue? Right? Vibhuti must be thinking that today morning, the whole morning has gone for Toastmaster. Today evening, I'm not going to do any Toastmaster meeting. Enough. Right? Vibhuti is a guest. So she must also be thinking, is this meeting happening every week? How much do I need to pay for this membership? Am I going to, join this club? Do I want an in-person meeting? All of these things are going on in her mind, right? Nicola must be having a thought that, I think I've seen this guy somewhere. Were we in the same school, same college? Not me, we are ages apart. So I'm saying for someone else, you can pick up any random guy in the meeting. The point here is each of you have a baggage in your mind, right? And you don't come into the meeting with a fresh mind. It's not possible not in today's world, not in any day's world, to come into any place without a baggage because we have a history of things that's happening behind us. We have domestic problems, we have road rages, we have bad traffic, we have sadness, we have happiness, we have ecstasy, whatnot. Now, to lower those affective filters so that you pay attention to the presiding officer, there needs to be someone who needs to come and say, wake up, good morning, right? That is the job. What is this person doing? This person is like, you remember that alarm bell or that tang, 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 tang in the school, it used to happen. What was the purpose of that bell? To reduce your affective filters. Whatever damn thing is playing on your mind, keep that outside, bring your bag and come into the class. Pay attention to the class teacher. So that is the role of the sergeant at arms. Ding, 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 ding. Please welcome the presiding officer of the meeting, who is this. Now, the presiding officer cannot also do that. But if the presiding officer does that, then the presiding officer will pay the maximum attention in doing that and will lose the focus on the main role that the presiding officer has, which is to set the meeting going, to get the meeting going. Talk about the Robert's Rules of Order, talk about the Toastmaster history, make the guests feel welcome. All of these things will become secondary. Then the presiding officer will be more focused in having that ding, 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 ding kind of a thing. Right? So that is the role of the sergeant at arms. So to be a good sergeant at arms, what you need to be in a very commanding position. You need to be high on energy. So if you are naturally a person who's a little low on energy, quite the opposite of me, I would say, then in that case, the sergeant at arms role is a good role for you to increase your natural energy levels. If the general feedback that you have been receiving from people at work or in personal life is, yaar, thoda sa zyada masti dikhao yaar, thoda sa zyada josh dikhao, show a little bit more energy, show some more josh, right? If that is the feedback you have been consistently receiving, then this is something that you can think of taking this role on a periodic basis. Another reason why you can take up a sergeant at arms role, someone said that they were scared about it, or they didn't want to, they couldn't do something in a public speaking forum, and they were scared, and they wanted to join Toastmaster. For if that's the trigger, then in that case, this is a very good role for you to get over those initial nervousness, or as we say, the beginner's nervousness, which is by taking up the small scripted role, because the role is already scripted. You have got 3-4 things that you need to say, and you will just say that and get it out of the way. The only thing you need, the biggest prerequisite of a sergeant at arms role, high energy levels. So when you're doing a sergeant at arms role, it's always a good practice to listen to some good music, wake up in a happy mood, read a few jokes, watch a few stand-up comedy. It really helps, because that actually makes your mood go upbeat, because then you carry that mood into the meeting. I always do that. I rarely get to play the sergeant at arms role. There are better people in our club who play that. I never get that opportunity. But when I do watch a few stand-up comedies. I do listen to a few music to bring my mood up, and then I come into the meeting. One good thing about me is that I already have my energy level at an high. So I'm never at a challenge there. But this is one of the ways which you can do that role better. Now, coming to the presiding officer role. The presiding officer is called the presiding officer for a reason. He presides over the meeting. So the presiding officer must have something which gives him that kind of an aura. And that thing has to come from everything that that person is doing. The dress, the way they sit, the way they talk to the audience, the message they're trying to deliver, everything should give that kind of an, they should give an impression that, yeah, I have to listen to this person. I can't ignore this person. So first of all, think of a key message that you will deliver in your presiding officer's note. And that key message has to be something which is meaningful for the group, for the entire group. Now, if there is no guest in this meeting, for instance, then in that case, we do not need to talk about the history of Toastmasters, because we already know the history of Toastmasters. Using that flexibility, again, this is a small opportunity for you to, small window for you to improve your cognitive flexibility and contextual intelligence. There is no guest in the meeting. I will not talk about the 3 things that, the history of Toastmaster, 1924, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, etc., 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 because everyone knows. That is contextual intelligence. In a meeting, you come in and you see there are, say, for example, there are 20 people, out of which 10 are guests, right? It is not a good idea to ask everyone to tell something about themselves. If everyone speaks for 1 minute, your 10 minutes is gone. There's a bigger problem. Are you really interested to know which school I passed out from? What do I love to eat? What do I love to drink, tea or coffee? Where do I holiday? So when every guest starts talking about it, I joined Toastmasters for this, and you can't blame them because you told them to introduce themselves. They will introduce themselves in whatever fashion they want. There could be someone who will say that, I joined Toastmaster because I don't know what Toastmaster is. I don't think I really need Toastmaster. There are people who have come into our meeting initially, and they used to say like this, I don't really need Toastmasters. I'm here because I was called in, and this kind of thing. So what is that doing? That is leaving the other guests with an impression of boredom, monotonicity, and they may actually drop off. So by the time you reach the 9th guest, 3 of them have already run away. So here you have to use your contextual intelligence. If I've got 10 guests, I don't need to call all the guests. Now, which guest do I call and which guest do I not call? If that's the dilemma I have, right? So for instance, here, I will easily ignore Gavin, Aditya, Harshita, Sudhir, Anshu, and Saju, and Gauri. I've got a reason, because they're not on camera. Okay. So what I can say is that, okay, so I don't have enough time to call everyone on camera. See, and this is what it does. So what happens is, then you say that I don't have enough time to take everyone's introduction. So I will only take the introductions of those who are on camera. 2 things will happen. Either everyone will switch on their camera, or you can just do 2 or 3 introductions and move on. Contextual intelligence. Now, will this work in every setting? No. For instance, people who are not on the camera are very important people. Maybe they're district officers, right? There is a PQD, there is a DD, there is an AD, there is a DVD. These are all various, glorious positions in Toastmasters. So if these people are there in the meeting and you say, I will not call them for introduction, they will feel really offended, right? So then you don't want to do that. So you say, We have got a bunch of district officers here, and I would let them introduce themselves at an opportunity later during the meeting. We'll have enough time for them to introduce themselves. Very quickly, I have this. Thank you all for joining our meeting. Now let's move on with the meeting. This is contextual intelligence. This is something that you need to do as a presiding officer. Now, when you're talking about a story, what story will you say? How are you going to deliver the message? You have a message in mind. Say, for example, you want to say that Toastmasters empowers people to do better, become a better version of themselves. Now you come into the meeting and you see there are mostly students. The examples that you need to use have to be around students. If you come into a meeting and see there are very senior people, then the examples have to be around this one, right? One or two Valentine's Day joke may be okay with them. But if your entire presiding officer address is, because it's month of February, is about Rose Day and Valentine's Day and Chocolate Day, then senior people will be not interested. For many of us, Valentine's Day has a lot of heartbreak stories attached with it in many years, right? So you're basically kind of doing the wrong thing to me. I may not be interested to even stay in the meeting in the first place. So you need to understand, based on the audience, what I need to do. Again, a practice of contextual intelligence. So what are we learning in a presiding officer role? Contextual intelligence, cognitive flexibility in terms of how to get the meeting started. Next comes the Toastmaster of the day. One of the roles where we always feel, I've seen, a lot of people say that I'm the star of the meeting. Unfortunately, no. The Toastmaster of the day is nothing but a sutradhar. It's like that thread which holds all the flowers together in a mala, in a garland. And that's the only role. That thread should never try to be a flower. And that's where I have a major problem with some team mods trying to be a flower. I have attended sessions where in a 2 hours meeting, the team mod spoke for 90 minutes, 60 minutes, right? I've had full-fledged classes on whatnot, astrology and astronomy and everything around that. I didn't care. It was not, I was interested in the theme, which means you have to get me interested in the theme, but not too much of it. So the planning around it, how much will I play? How much will I talk? How much will I let others talk? How to make others feel important? These are the things that you learn as a master of ceremony. You need this in a master of ceremony kind of a role. The master of ceremony role can happen in your life in any place. It can happen in an office meeting. When someone says that, can you take care of this meeting? This word take care is equal to MC. You're the master of ceremony. Take care means you have to plan the meeting logistics, you have to decide the agenda, you have to introduce people, you have to get their introductions, all of those things. You have to be in total control. You are like the project manager for that particular meeting. One of the very important things about the team mod role is the introduction part, right? And there I've seen two kinds of team mods. One who are over-prepared and one who are totally unprepared. The one who are over-prepared, they will get all the introductions from all the role players and read the introductions as is. So a speaker who has a 2-minute speech has at times got a 1-minute long introduction. And it just does not end. It starts with their school days, college days, bachelorhood, after getting married, after having kids, retiring, whatever happened during their entire life, they will say. And the team mod will read it out. This is one set of team mod. The other set of team mod is they will start saying that, so our next speaker is Bibhati. Bibhati, am I spelling or pronouncing your name right? Bibhati. I'm not, I know. I'm just using it as an example, Bibhuti, right? So here what is happening is this team mod didn't even read the pronunciation. Some people read, when they read my introduction, say, he's the co-founder of this company called Practice. Boss, I spent a lot of money to design my brand name Practive. You just took that away. For you, it's just another word. For me, it's a dream. How will I feel if you call my brand name with such kind of a laxity, with such callousness? So one of the most important things about a team mod is preparation. So team mod's job, if you take up this role, you prepare yourself for good project management skills. If you are struggling with project management skills, if there are a lot of moving parts in your work, and your everyday work does not give you an opportunity to practice that, but it is important for you to get the next role, which is a project manager role. Do this role more often, and you'll see a big difference in how are you handling the moving parts. How are you handling uncertainties? You're all set with the script. Suddenly you see that the grammarian for the meeting has not logged in. not responding to calls, not reading the messages. Every Toastmaster who has ever planned a meeting or been a team mode will have encountered this situation at least once. What do you do to handle that? The speaker suddenly drops off and the speaker joins back. By then you have time to call the next speaker. What do? Should you let the previous speaker continue or the next speaker should come up? All of this decision again is a part of the contextual intelligence. Moving on. The speakers and the evaluators, obviously we know what their roles are. So let's talk about the table topic master. The table topic master role is a role of a perfect HR kind of a role, where your job is to include people, involve people, make people, if you're more of a team lead kind of a role, you will always have people in your team, some people who are very shy to contribute, some people who always want to contribute. How do you balance it off? How do you give some opportunities to some people? How do you make someone speak? Like a good DTM, for instance, would always have a variety of topics, variety in terms of the level, variety in terms of the tone, variety in terms of the approach that you can have. Most importantly, the level. Some TTMs come into the meeting with this sole objective of showing the other people that how intelligent I am, how well-read I am. They will have the classiest and the choicest of the quotes, which no one apart from them understands. One such TTM is yours truly. And that's not how you should play a TTM role. A TTM role, you will have to understand that there will be certain speakers who are very nervous. How do you understand whether the speaker is nervous or not? One, you know the speaker already. I know Shanko is an area level champion, has been a division level champion. So I don't need that. I have enough intelligence about him, but I don't know Nikhila. So Nikhila, are you a Toastmaster or a guest?
A guest.
A guest? This is your first Toastmaster meeting?
No, I've been in a couple of past meetings as well.
Okay. These two lines are enough for me to understand that can Nikhila handle a very difficult topic, a very easy topic, or a moderate topic. At least some fair understanding I'm getting. If I already see that the speaker that I'm targeting to call next is struggling with speaking a few lines, then I will have to give that person a very easy topic. Sometimes I give a topic which they can't even pronounce. Do you think they'll ever come back to a Toastmaster meeting? Right? So if you're playing a team lead kind of a role, to understand with a very brief conversation, with a very few lead indicators, what do I need to do to energize this person? What do I need to do to make this person contribute? That is something that you are learning as table topic master, having a variety of topics. Also encouraging people to be more active in the meeting. So as a table topic master, one of the skills you need is an observation skill. Who in this meeting is my potential member? Who can join me as a member? There's a very strong correlation between people speaking in table topic sections and people taking membership in a Toastmaster club. So if you see prospective members who are guests, you should definitely invite them into a table topic section. Give them the opportunity to speak, even for 2 minutes. That will do two things. One, if they're good speakers, they will feel the confidence, they will feel good about it, and they'll want to be a part of it. If they're not doing a good job, they will understand their limitations and they would want to be a part of it to overcome those limitations. So either which ways, they will see a value in them being a part of this fraternity. So this is how a table topic master has to play the role. A couple of other things about the table topic master role. Keep the topics brief. Some of the topics are as long as the speech itself. And don't explain the topic. For example, your first day at work. That's it. This is a good topic. Now, when does it become not so good topic? When you say like, all of us have had that first day at work. I remember my first day at work when I went to this particular company and so many mishaps happened and there were so many bloopers. I felt really embarrassed. So what was your first day at work? You already did half of the speech. Why don't you finish it off? Just say first day at work. If you're giving a topic like life for you is, that's it. Life for you is. Don't explain. For many of us, life has various meanings. My dad thinks life is this. My mom thinks life is this. I think life is this. Right? And what is your definition of life? You are literally telling this person, this is how you need to think. This is how you need to speak. This is not a good idea. It is also a good practice as a table topic master to write the topics in chat. How many of you have accent here? Mother tongue influence when you speak?
In what sense? Can you because my
How many of you have
accent
got an
is-
accent?
Okay.
Okay, the rest of us don't have accent. Okay, here's the bad news. All of us have got a mother tongue influence. All of us have got an accent. If you feel you don't have an accent, there's only one way to not have an accent, which is you can't speak. Right? If you are not speaking, then you don't have an accent. If you speak, you have an accent. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger has an accent. Even Steve Jobs has an accent. Even Narendra Modi has an accent. Every single orator, speaker in this world has an accent. An accent is natural. It is called mother tongue influence because that's something that's there even when you were in your mother's womb, right? Because that's something that you've been hearing and you've been picking it up. Now, the problem is that the problem is not the accent. The problem is the familiarity of the accent. I'll tell you one small story. I was in the US at that point of time, and I was speaking to one of the directors who was also an NRI, Shagorika. So Shagorika and I, we were sitting there and we were just chatting about, I just landed that day and we were just chatting and all. So one lady was passing by, one white American. So she said, oh, I knew you have got a visitor from India. You guys have a funny accent. And Shagorika's retort was, do you realize there are a billion people in this world who think that you have a funny accent? Right? Because we Indians feel that Americans have a funny accent. And Americans feel we have a funny accent, and both of us are right. Actually, the problem is that the unfamiliarity of the accent. We don't understand that accent, right? So when you understand that each of us have a certain amount of accent, an influence of a mother tongue, which prevents us from being understood by people who don't have the same accent. It could be between North India, South India. It could be between East India, West India. It could be between West Asia, East Asia. It could be between the West and the East. But accent is very normal. So whenever you're giving out a table topic, it is always a good practice to put it in chat, because one small word here or there could alter the meaning of the entire topic. Right? I remember there was one topic I had given to one of the speakers, didn't remember, or speech viewers member. I run, therefore I cry, or I cry, therefore I run, something like that was there. And that person totally got this, instead of cry, she heard try. And she spoke on that entire thing on try instead of cry. So because I did not put the topic on chat, right? So this is a practice that you should develop as a table topic master. Any questions on these four roles that we talked about? SA, PO, TMOD, and PTM.
I have one question. Like you were mentioning, like in TTM, TTM also allows us, or maybe we should actually also try to influence a person to involve into the discussion. How do we do that? And how do we make sure that as a TTM to get them involved?
By identifying people who are not involved.
I see.
So there are already people in the meeting who are playing various roles, right? The speaker, evaluators, or they're even generally participative. For instance, in this meeting, I am seeing whatever questions I'm asking, Samita, you, Shanko, Lalita, they're reasonably giving this one. So when I'm a TTM, I would probably invite people like Saju, Harshita, Anshu, who are not speaking so much, because that will get them involved.
Thank you.
Aditya, you have a question.
Yeah, actually, basically my problem is I'm real restless, and the third problem is, in whatever role I take, suppose I'm forgetting something, then I'll tell sorry, and I will move to the proper organization is little bit of poor, like how to manage that organization, like I want to, my problem is I want to finish it off fast in 1 second. So how to keep your calm, cool, and
Finish
try
off
to
what? Finish off the speech, finish off the evaluation, or anything for that matter.
for anything of the matter.
Anything that matter. It's a very common problem. This is just a sign of nervousness. When we are nervous about certain things, we want to just get done with it, right? And that's what happens when I try cooking, for instance. And the result is disastrous. So the best thing is for you to keep doing it till such time will come when you're calm, when you will be able to calm your nerves. And remember one thing, there is one very golden quote. No one ever died of a bad Toastmasters meeting. Okay. So don't worry, even if you screw up that role totally, no one is losing the jobs, no company is shutting down, no one is going to get admitted to ICU. Basically, nothing will change around. Am I saying that you don't need to play the role properly? Yes, you need to. You need to prepare for the role? Yes, you need to. But the question here is that do you need to get overtly, nervous about it? No, you don't. And that is what we call the safe learning space, because the cost of failure here is very limited. So don't stress yourself. Always remember this. This line I want everyone to remember. 2 lines I will tell you. One is this: no one ever died of a bad Toastmasters meeting. And the second one is, the worst speech you'll ever give is better than the speech you'll never give. Always remember these 2 lines. Whenever you're nervous about doing a speech, tell yourself this: the worst speech I'll never give is better than the speech I'll ever give. I told the opposite now. Yeah. The worst speech I'll ever give is better than the speech I'll never give. And the second one, see, no one died, right? I told it the opposite. Anyone died? No, right?
No.
One is this.
Laughing.
Yeah. No one ever died of a bad Toastmasters meeting. Remember that. Just call it. It's okay. The best thing here is if you don't do a role well, you get another opportunity to do the role. This is the only organization where you screw up in a particular role, we will tell you do it again. In all other places, you screw up, we'll say never again.
Okay, right? That's correct. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now let's move on to the last 4 roles: the general evaluator and the taggle team. Before I move on to the general evaluator, a little bit about the taggle team. The timer, as I mentioned, it's a very good role for practicing indistractability. It's a very good role for practicing cognitive flexibility. And these are the skills which you need in today's world a lot, because the rest of the skills anyways AI has learned and they are doing that pretty well, much better than us, right? So these are the skills which will help you stay relevant in the coming years and decades. Our life is almost as good as done now, but youngsters here like Veena and Amod and all, and the rest, all of you, don't feel offended if I don't name you. Basically anyone but me here. So remember that this is the skill that you need to excel in whatever you're doing. Right? These are the skills. So keep on practicing this. This is very, very important. Now, moving on to the R counter role, again, a very good role in terms of indistractability. When you're playing an R counter role, remember it's a reporting role. Unlike that of the timer role where you have an action to do, like showing the cards, in an R counter role, you don't have an action to do. You have to do a reporting. So your focus should be on the accuracy, not so much on the flexibility. For a timer, it's on flexibility. This is a test of your accuracy, how well you're able to listen and observe and make note. Then comes the grammarian role. Okay, before that, should you do the R counter role if you're already bad at R's and Ums? Like if you are in any of the meetings where I am there, you will see that I am the R counter's favorite. To fill up their report, they just need to hear me properly. Right? Have the maximum number of R's and Ums. You know, I know, so, and all that, right? So should I do a Toastmaster meeting role as an R counter? Do I qualify?
Yes.
Why?
When we listen to others, we get an idea.
I already have an idea. I'm pretty bad. Why should I do this role?
Okay, to feel good about yourself. Okay, everyone does it. I also do it.
That actually backfires. There have been meetings that I've been an R counter and I said, shit, people don't use R's and Ums at all. I'm the only one.
No, everyone uses. Everyone uses.
So one thing what happens is you get conscious about it. Right? When I'm speaking in a flow and I'm more focused on the content, I'm focused on the audience reaction. I literally give a damn about whether I'm using R's and Ums. As long as I'm making a mark, as long as my jokes are landing, as long as I'm saying something funny and I can see Lalita smiling and Amod smiling and Samita paying attention, I'm good. Who gives a damn if I've used Rs and arms and so's and kilos before this, right? But when I'm taking an R counter role, that's when I start paying attention and I see that a good speech can be delivered without Rs and arms as well. I also see there was this particular which absolutely destroyed the speech, which was otherwise perfect. So that consciousness increases. So if you're not good in counters, if you're terrible in like me in terms of usage of ferns and fillers, take this role more because that helps you get better at it. Now comes the grammarian role. The grammarian role, a lot of people look at it as in fact, some of the Gs I've seen introducing grammarians are the English teacher of my team. If being an English teacher was so easy, ask Samita about it. It's not easy at all, right? It's much more to it than a grammarian. What does the grammarian do? Again, like every role in a Toastmaster meeting, a grammarian does not need to be an expert in English language to be an English teacher. The grammarian needs to be observant and mindful and in the moment to observe and make note of the sinful and the seductive usages of English language. I am saying this word very consciously, sinful and seductive usages. Why? I'll tell you with an example. India, a country I love. India, a country I admire. India, my home, my place, my world. If you ask Renan Martin or any English professor, this was a disaster in terms of sentence construction. Right? What did you learn in school? It should never start with a proper noun like this. I live in the country called India. I love the country India. That is the right way of saying it. How did I say it? Or for example, if I say, there's only one place in this world where I want to stay. India, India, and India. Again, a grammatical error. Why use India, India, India? Right? If you write that in school, you'll get 0. But here you get full marks for it. That's the difference between a speech and an essay. An essay has to be grammatically correct. A speech has to be appealing. So as a grammarian, your role is not to check for English language usage. Grammatically, your role is to see if the speech or the usage of word, the choice of word is making the desired impact. That does not mean that you will let go of any wrong usage of past tense or prepositions or pronouns just like that. You start calling a he, a she, or a she, a he, or you put was in the future tense. That's okay because that's the effect of the speech. No, but remember, because those kind of distortions which only not have the desired impact, right? So that has to be called out. So you're not an English teacher there. Apart from the incorrect usages here and there in terms of like the preposition tense and all that, one thing that you need to pay attention to is the rhetorical devices. The one which I used, India, 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 is an example of a rhetorical device. It's a rule of 3, where we are repeating something 3 times. Some very common rhetorical devices speakers use. Try to pay attention to that. You will be able to capture those. The other one is alliteration. Sensational shonko. An alliteration. SS. Right? Vivacious Veena. VV. Amiable Arun. AA. These are examples of alliteration. A lot of speakers use alliteration. Then the other one is hypophora. Hypophora is, what is the meaning of hypophora? Hypophora is when I'm asking a question and giving an answer himself. Did you get what I said? Yes, you did, right? Because I just explained. So this is an example of hypophora. I'm asking a question and then immediately answering it. I'm not asking the question for you to answer me. Then there is rhetorical question, which people ask not to get an answer, but just to make an impact. For example, is anyone here in this meeting who doesn't want to be a good speaker? Obviously not. Otherwise, why would we be sitting here? Right? So that is where you don't need to give an answer. So these are rhetorical questions, hypophoras, alliterations, rule of 3, exaggerations, hyperboles we call them. This is one of the most mispronounced word in English dictionary. It is written as hyperbole, Hyperbole. 99.99% of people pronounce it as hyperbole. It is not hyperbole, it is hyperbole. It is an extreme exaggeration. Can you give me some example of an hyperbole? Extreme exaggeration.
Like Sourav is such a good speaker, he will stand up for the president's election in US.
Okay, the second part, yeah. The first part I would take as a compliment. Okay. Don't say that's a hyperbole. Okay. Okay, what else? Sourav is a better speaker than Narendra Modi. Hyperbole. Right? What else?
The tree was 100 meters tall.
That's difficult to understand as a hyperbole because you can say the tree was so tall it was almost touching the moon.
Touching the moon. Yeah.
Right? That is the hyperbole. Okay. Another example of hyperbole.
River is wider than ocean.
What is this one?
River is much wider than ocean.
River is wider than oxygen.
Ocean.
Ocean. River is wider than ocean. Okay, that's not a hyperbole. Something more that we use on a day-to-day basis. I told you 1,000 times. Yes. Sudharma put it on chat. I told you 1,000 times. Did you ever say anything 1,000 times to someone? Even if you did, that person have the patience to listen to you. Okay. Even husbands get bored after 100 times.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I am dead tired.
I am dead tired. You're either dead or tired. But that's more of an oxymoron.
Taller than a Statue of Unity.
No, that is not an oxymoron. Sorry, that is antithesis. Antithesis is where you have a logical discrepancy. Because if you are dead, you cannot be tired. If you are tired, you cannot be dead.
Starve to death.
Starve to death, yeah.
Love you to the moon and back.
Yeah, see, I was about waiting for that. Okay. So Valentine's Day is approaching. So if someone is sending you a card, I love you to the moon and back, you'll just write back saying that this is a hyperbole. Okay. So that is a hyperbole. I can give an arm and a leg. Right? And every evaluator's favorite. This is the most amazing speech I've ever heard. Every meeting.
Like you can say like this, every teacher you like.
Huh?
Every teacher you like.
No, you're going to say that you're the most awesome teacher that I've ever met. See, hyperboles don't work with teachers. They always know that this comes only before the exams. They are smart. Okay. So these are the hyperboles. The opposite of hyperbole is litotis. Litotis is where you are underwhelming in your appreciation. In hyperbole, you're an overwhelming in your appreciation. Litotis spelling is Litotes. Litotis. There, for example, not bad. How was the session? Not bad. Which basically means good. So two negatives make a positive. That is a litotis. Can you give me some more examples of litotis? I didn't want to miss this session. I did not want to miss this session. Did not miss, which basically means I wanted to attend the session. But what am I saying? I did not want to miss this session. Give me a few more examples. We use it very often.
I didn't want to fool people.
No.
No, okay, that is not okay.
Not too much distance.
Not much distance. It's nearby, right? You can easily say that it's nearby, but you say it's not far off. It's not far off. Not far is equal to near. Instead of saying near, you're saying not far. What else? Come on.
It's not expensive.
Not expensive. Right?
Not totally unbearable.
Not totally unbearable. Means bearable. Right?
I'm not a bad
Are you
person.
talking about my session, Gauri? No, right?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay. And anything else you can think of?
I'm not a bad person.
I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. Lovely. I would not disagree with you. I can't agree more. Right? These are all examples of litotis. So these are the tag teams which help the general evaluator. Now, what is the role of the general evaluator? The general evaluator's role is to evaluate the entire meeting, from what happened before the meeting, during the meeting, till the end of the meeting. The general evaluator basically is the person So some people introduce the general evaluator as that, as the policeman, the cop of the meeting, none of that. Okay. I see the general evaluator as that friend who you send your selfie after buying a new pair of jeans, asking that, is this looking good on me? You trust this person to give you the most honest opinion without being nasty. This is a very important condition. Without being nasty. There are general evaluators who have insulted TMODs like anything, and they have never taken TMOD roles. There are general evaluators who have put down evaluators like anything, and they have never done an evaluation. If you are taking up a general evaluator role, please understand you are in a position in that 2 hours, you can actually make or break a person's journey. You may not realize it. It is damn powerful. So that is something that you need to understand, that as a general evaluator, you need to be pointed. At the same time, you need to be soft. So don't be nasty with people. Give feedback in a very fast. So one of the good ways of giving a feedback, couple of tips around it, whether as an evaluator or as a general evaluator, never accuse someone. Don't say that your speech was boring. Say it in a positive way. How can we say that in a positive way? Your speech was boring. How can we say it in a positive?
If you add these points,
yeah.
it would be better.
No, but you're still not saying your speech was boring. I need you to tell me my speech was boring.
You
I
could
need you to
improve
tell me
in
my
this
session was
area.
boring.
You can challenge yourself by engaging audience.
You can challenge yourself by engaging the audience, but still that does not tell me my session was boring.
Add more structure to your speech.
That still doesn't tell me my session was boring. I want you to tell me my session was boring without telling me my session was boring.
Okay, add some humor. It would be
It
better.
doesn't tell me. You're telling me how to make my session interesting, but I need you to tell me that my session was boring.
I find people were not engaged.
That is worse than telling my session was boring.
You should audience should enjoy the speech.
One way of telling that is, in order to make your session more interesting, you could have considered adding a little bit of humor. Or if I was doing this session, I would be adding a dash of humor here or there. If I was doing the session, I would have engaged the audience more. This is telling me that the session was boring without telling me that the session is boring. Or for example, your voice was monotonous. We say that, right? You didn't have vocal variety. We say that in a feedback. What is a better way of saying it? You could have had more vocal variety. You didn't have hand gestures. What's a better way of saying it?
You could have added more.
You should have been more expressive.
Expressive.
You could have been more expressive. Not should. Could have been more expressive. If I would do a speech like this, I would try to use more facial expressions. So these are the ways in which you soften the feedback and yet you keep the feedback, whether as a general evaluator or as an evaluator. So that's it. Any questions I can take? Or anything else that you wanted me to cover, Shanko?
I just wanted to know for any roles, especially the tag team, or like how is it possible to make it more innovative or more interesting rather than only reading out the script?
Every role can be made more interesting. For instance, if you talk about the R counter role, instead of telling them that these are the R's and ums and all that you have used, if you can try to add a particular situation and explain to them that in this particular instance, you use this R. And that is what this kind of, did not help us. So that will create that moment. Remember, I told the R 2 hours back, and you're telling me at the end of the meeting, I have used R. It's not actually ringing a bell. I don't even remember where I used R. One good practice is if you can write that line, particularly for the ones which were standing out, saying that in this particular speech, in this particular place, you said, I really want to do this. This was important for me. That, Sourav, that killed it. You could have just taken that out. So that will now help me because I will remember which particular line I have used it. So our counters, if they make it more specific, timers, it is always a good idea to let the speakers know how close they were to the red card or how close they were to the disqualification. For example, if I'm going for a contest, then if you're telling me that my evaluation took 3 minutes 26 seconds, that is an important insight for me. Because I may take 3 minutes 31 seconds in a contest and have a facepalm moment. So these are the insights that the timer can give. For the grammarian, using rhetorical devices, the usage of rhetorical devices, the more you start observing that, you are not only educating the speaker, you're also developing your ability to do it yourself. You know, at the risk of bragging, I would say I do a reasonably good job in terms of using rule of three. I can naturally use it whenever I want, wherever I want, however I want. Just now I did that. Right? So this is the use of rule of three. So you will naturally develop that ability. So try to spot the rhetorical devices and try to incorporate those in your grammarian's report. When it comes to the general evaluator, I think the most innovative way of doing it is by making it more data-based, objective, rather than using more facts rather than feelings. Remember, feelings are not facts. If the general evaluator is saying that I felt that the meeting could have had more energy, you felt, no, I did not feel. Right. So a better way of saying that is to give you some amount of fact. If you would notice that in the majority of the meeting, people had their cameras off. That is one of the indications how interested and engaged people are in the meeting. Would you consider as a team ought to have more engaging activities so that more people want to come on camera and participate? You see the difference in how we are saying this. Any other questions, anyone? Thank you so much. Back to you, Samita.
Thank you, Sourav, for such an amazing session. Roles we do take, but what you told us about what is that important lessons that we learn, sometimes we forget. And definitely that one word that you said, that what is your trigger, keep in mind. That will push us to take up more roles and come out as speakers too. Because once we take the roles, we'll be more confident in speaking. It was a wonderful session. So I'll now call Toastmaster Vishal, President.
Sure.
Speak a
Thank
few.
you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. What a great session, Sourav, and thank you for enlightening us with all these knowledge. I think because of this session, most of our members will feel confident on taking roles, trying their own initiatives, and applying the contextual intelligence and everything we have learned in today's session. So I would request everyone to give a round of applause to DTM Sourav for enlightening us and energizing us with his style and with his knowledge. Thank you so much, DTM Saurav. I would request Sankhya, can we have a group pic with DTM Saurav, and would request Sudhir, Gauri, Saju, Venkatesh to come on camera so that we can have a memory which we can cherish forever. Perfect. Gauri, Saju, Binu, if possible. Okay. We can have our emoticons, and Toastmaster Sankhya, let us know once you have taken the group pic.
Yeah, with a count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. Fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sankhya. Thank you so much, DTM Saurav. There are a few announcements for our members. I would just want to say. Number one, a bit recap of what happened yesterday. So most of our executive committee members attended District 92 Toastmaster Leadership Institute meetings. This will help us serve this club in a better way. We learned new things which we will be applying it. So it was a great session. The reason is two why I'm saying this. One, that we learned and we will be able to serve you better. Second, I want most of you to take such, make use of such opportunities. So be open when the new EC committee's election will be there, because there are enormous opportunities which is waiting for you. There is a door, you just have to knock it. So be mindful of the executive committee members. Raise your hands when the election will come up and explore your leadership style. Having said that, we have the next Rockstar program on coming February 4th, which is on speech crafting. I would encourage all of you to do join this. We already had 2 sessions, one on acing online meetings, second, which we just had today, and third is coming up on our next Sunday. So I welcome and encourage everyone to join our upcoming session as well. Lastly, one important announcement, there will be our international speech contest, and the prerequisite for that is we have to be level 2 clarified in our pathways. So please prioritize your speech so that you are level 2 qualified and you are able to participate in the speech contest at club level, which will be happening very soon in coming months, and there will be information and intimation provided as well. But please prioritize. If you're not getting speech slot, talk to our VP Education, Toastmaster Sankhya. We'll try to find slots for you in other clubs, and we'll try to expedite your pathways progress as well. So that's from my side. Again, thank you everyone for having these sessions. I know we are overboard. Can we have just one quick guest introduction and then we can call it a day? I can see Toastmaster Anshu is there. Anshu, is this your first session? Please let us know.
No, this is not my first session. I've attended 2 more sessions earlier.
Okay, perfect.
But I'm a very new joinee here, and it was a great meeting.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll just provide my phone number as well in the chat. If you have anything with respect to how to join our club, feel free to reach me out. Feel free to reach Sankhya and our VP membership, Toastmaster Sonal. We all are there to help you. And let me know if there is anything else where we can help you. So that's all from my side. I'm seeing one request. Can we get the recordings of today's session? So yes, we typically share our recordings in our members group. So you will have it, Toastmaster Sudhir, for sure. Is there anything else? Anything or we are good? Anything Sudhir, you want to say something? I see you have unmuted yourself.
Yeah, since I'm not a Toastmaster, but today's session was amazing. Especially the way people started till end, and when you did the clarity came in this session. This is my 3rd session as a guest. So if it is possible on the guest, if you can share, if it is possible. If it is not possible, then not an issue.
No,
I really love this session.
possible. We'll share it, Sudhir. So absolutely, we'll do that.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you very much for this amazing session.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Anything else? Okay, fine. I would give whatever time is there to spend with your family, friends. Enjoy Sunday, and let's see in our next session and the Rockstars programs going ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Happy
Thank you,
Sunday.
everyone.
See you all.